Hey everyone, I'm back with another tutorial on how to recover a laptop with just the recovery partition. This time it's HP laptop. Mine is a G62-220CA. Now this is going to assume that you don't have any recovery media whatsoever, DVDs or USB drive. So now if your original hard drive is still good, it's just Windows you're not able to fix Windows, then that's great. We can definitely work with that. That's fantastic. That means you don't have to buy a new drive. Now for this particular tutorial, I actually did purchase another drive, and I'll show you the partition structure that I set up for it. If we go into computer management and then disk management, you can see I have my original drive here, and I copied the same structure on my new drive. So, and then what you'll want to do if your original drive is still good, you're going to want to format your current Windows partition or C drive, and then that's where we're going to unpack all the files that we have for it. So what we need to do then, after if say we have the new drive and we have everything formatted properly and everything's copied over, recovery to recovery, HP tools to HP tools, system to system, then what we're going to do is we need to locate the file that we're going to use, or the files that need to go onto this new drive or your current C drive. And what we're going to use to locate that, actually if I go into my computer, I go into the recovery partition itself, it's hidden. So what we need to do is go into folder options, view, and then uncheck hide protected operating system files. We're going to say yes to the warning. So as you can see here, once we do that, we can see the entire drive's contents, and there's different folders here: boot, HP, preload, recovery, system save, system volume information, etc. But we need to find out where is the files, or the Windows files, that are going to allow us to reboot into this computer again. So if I go to, I already took the time to find the particular file that we needed, and it's in this folder, preload. But if I double click on this, you can see that it gives me a warning. It doesn't let me go through and see what's in it. So what I did was I downloaded a program. It's free, and I'll have a link so that you guys can get it. It's called Free Commander. If we go into Free Commander, and we take a look, we have all of our drives listed at the top here, and it's a dual paned file viewer. If I go into my D drive, which is our recovery, we can see that there's a desktop INI file, and then there's a base.wim file. This base.wim file is 11 gigabytes compressed, and it's a lot bigger when it's uncompressed, but that's the file that we need. So now that we know what our file name is, we can actually go and unpack all those contents to our drive. But what we need is an application that will allow us to do that. Normally what we'd do is we would go and make a Windows PE disk and copy ImageX onto it during that process, boot from that disk, and then we'd use the ImageX program in the command line to unpack all of the files from that base.wim file. But in this case, we have a really cool application called GImageX, which I will also have a link to. When we open that up, we can see that it's a graphical user interface front end for the ImageX application. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Apply tab, and then we're going to type in the location for our source, which is D preload, and then the name of the file is base.wim. We're going to go to our destination, and we're going to browse to that, because we can't actually browse to it in here. It's actually hidden, so it'll just come up with that same HP warning that we had before. So what I want to do is I'm going to put this onto my new drive, But like I said before, if your original drive is fine, then you're going to put it onto the C drive. But in my case, it's going to go onto this drive here. So we have those two parts taken care of. But you can see this entry here, image, and it goes up in numbers. So what is that for? Well, this base.wim file has several different image files within it, and if we click on the select button, it shows us that this particular WIM image has 4 separate images, and each one needs to be applied separately. So we're gonna start with the first one, click select, and then when we're ready, we're gonna click apply, and that first image within the base WIM file is going to unpack onto our C drive or whichever drive you're using to unpack it to. So I'll go ahead and click apply, and it starts a process that will take a little bit to complete. A couple of these image files will take at least 20 minutes, if not more, to unpack onto the drive. So there we go. We can see now it's starting the process, and in just a moment it'll give us an estimated remaining time for the completion of the first image. So there we go. Right now the first image is giving us 6 minutes and 32 seconds. This one's actually, I think, the quickest one that happens out of the 4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to go through its process, and I will be back with the next one. And actually, what you need to do is what I will do is I will come back once it's complete or almost completed the 4th one. What you need to do is after this one's done, this will change to close. Go ahead and close it. Go to the next one and click up for the number 2 image, apply it, and then do that likewise for the 3rd and 4th image as well. Once that's done, like I said, I'll be back and I will show you the next process in recovering this laptop. Alright, I'm back, and I ended up stepping away from the computer for a little bit. When I came back, the process had completed. So now we've got all 4 done. I'm going to click close on this box here, and we can close out GImage-X. I'll quickly go back into computer management, disk management. You can see if we go to properties, out of 684 gigabytes, you can see I now have 22.9 gigabytes on the drive. So now we can close that out and close that out. Now what's needed to be done next is, if it's a new drive, we're going to need to install it into our computer, and the next step will be to boot from a Windows 7 disk. Once I get the new drive installed into the laptop, then I will be back and I will show you the next process. Okay, I am back, and I am now booting from my Windows 7 disk. This is an important step in the process because once you lay all those files down onto the hard drive, you can't just boot straight from them. Something, I guess, is messed up with it. So a repair is necessary to get things working properly again. Okay, so now we'll go next, and then instead of install, obviously we're going to go to repair, and it's going to search for Windows 7 installations on the drive. And it finds ours. We're going to go next. We're going to do startup recovery. Couldn't detect a problem.
This might be the one time it actually works properly. Go ahead and reboot. What happened to me before was that something popped up really quick and asked for me to do a repair and reboot. And it went really, really quick and rebooted. And I thought that was it. So I took the Windows 7 disk out and I went to reboot, and there was issues with it. There was the screen that you will see right now that I'm put up here is what came up, and there was a RAM disk option in the boot up process, and it would never go away, and Windows 7 wasn't the first in line, so it wouldn't boot up right off the bat. So hopefully this is going to work this time. That's a good sign. So this is going to go through a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video for now, and I'll be back. Alright, it didn't take long after I left the last time here, but this is what has come up next. It gives me an opportunity to choose French or English, as this is a Canadian laptop model. So I'm going to go for English because I don't speak French, and I'm going to choose United States because that's where I live. I'm going to go ahead and click next. Okay, I'm going to leave the password out for now. And I'll go ahead and accept the 2 license agreements. Choose your time zone. Date, time, it's all correct. And for now I'm going to skip that. And it's going to restart, so I will be back as soon as it's up and running again. Alright, I'm back, and this is the next screen. As it went through a boot up process, it took just a little bit for it to do that, and this is the next step in the process, HP's software installation. Now, when I did this before, it did a bare bones install with minimal software and just the drivers, which was nice. So all the crapware that HP usually throws on their laptops wasn't there. And I noticed that was an option when you actually do go into the recovery. You can actually choose to do a recovery the normal way, with all the crapware, or without. So this happens to be the without way of doing it. And as soon as we get a desktop, I'll come back and I'll show you that you can actually go in and then create your recovery media, whether it be DVDs or USB flash drive. I believe the amount of files comes out to like almost 12 gigabytes, so you're gonna have to use a 16 gig USB drive. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be going into the next screen here, so I will be back as soon as it shows up. Okay, I'm back now, and now we're at the registration part of the install, but I'm not going to bother doing this right now. I figure I'll just go register it later. I just wanted you guys to see that things are progressing. So even if we weren't able to create the media, we'd still have the ability to actually get back to a factory setup. I'm going to uncheck these things because I hate this dock that comes up, and exit that. So now I'm going to go into the Start menu, go into All Programs, and I'm going to find the HP folder. Let's see. I'm going to go into Recovery Manager and Media Creation. We're going to accept the user account control. That comes up. So I'm going to say create a USB flash drive. And I'm going to click next. And there you go. I don't have an actual drive installed into this right now. But if I did, it would come up. In fact, I could probably find one here. And pop it in so you can see it. Sorry for all the movement. Alright, so now you can see after plugging in my drive, it actually recognized it right away as soon as it installed the drivers for it. It popped up in the HP Recovery Media Creation application. So all I'd have to do is go ahead and choose that drive and click next, and it would go ahead and do it for me. I'm not going to do that right now because I already have it done, but that's exactly what you'd have to do, the whole process. So I really hope that this video has been helpful to you guys out there that have had an issue with it. It's nice to be able to actually fix a computer or laptop when you've either forgotten to create those recovery disks, or if you land up acquiring a laptop that the previous owner hadn't created them, and the drive was either failing or the install died. So I hope that gets you guys out of a jam. Take care, everyone.